far back as possible. They have so much range at their disposal, and they're going to keep it that way. Rounding things out with a Bard. We've been seeing a bunch of Bard at this tournament. The ultimate has proven to be so effective, especially into champions like Misfortune. Oh, you want an ultimate? How about I just
Hope. It's a wave clear ulti more than anything else. No encore going to be fine for him. As Flandre trading with Ginger down towards this bottom side. Kyle on the chase as well. It's a 3v2 right now in favor of CFO. Cosmic Binder coming out. Kaiwing still only level 5. Lands the knock-up explosive cast as well, but there's the flash and the smash into the wall, and Kaiwing is mown down by any... Ginger already on the Drake. That's pretty much gone. They might look for the fight afterwards though, as Flandre has the flank. Ginger's going to land the smite. There's the tempered fate coming out onto Ginger. Kaiwing trying to get his way away. Ginger still stunned up. Keeper's verdict finds Hongkyu guilty, and the chase continues. Ginger with the Crescent Guard keeps himself alive for a hell of a long time. In the end, he's murdered by Hope 2-0 AL.
So you'll notice Hongkyu sitting on the top wave, catching that wave, but now he can look to regroup with his team. Doggo
going for Doggo, who has the flash, dodges the deadly flourish, flash forward from Kaiwing. He knocks Tarzan back, and he has to flash away the Weaver's Wall coming out from Hongkyu. Immediately exhausted, the bullet time opens up, but doesn't find much purchase. And in the end, CFO should be able to retreat. Lose about half of all their health bars. Curtain Call coming out. Driver with the explosive cast knocks back Shanks! And Shanks, even with the Emperor's Divide, can't survive! Ginger with a knocker with the Q3. Flandre going to turn it back around on him, and Ginger will fall. CFO still trying to find a purchase on this. An explosion of gold for them.
I think AL is going to benefit a lot more from this. It becomes a question of if CFO can convert the Dragon into a bot tier 1 as well. The bot tower has taken a decent amount of damage. This Herald is very slow, so while initially I thought AL had a pretty big tempo advantage, there should be a pretty good window here for CFO to set their sights on the bot lane. I love that they're doing this. Doggo and Ginger. Flandre, he's overstayed his welcome. He needs to get away from this tower, has the Maiden.
Puts it down, only a couple of minions here to really defend. Driver looking for the knockback, but Flandre flashes away the bullet time. Ginger dashing forward, dodge this! Says Doggo. Ginger picks up the kill in the end, but meanwhile Rift Herald has been summoned in the mid lane as AL continue their advances. Kaiwing gets the knockback, tempered fate, Keeper's verdict! You're all alone now, Hongkyu, as Tarzan looks for the knock into the wall but can't find it. Cosmic Binding will still land but doesn't get the stun. There's the smash, there's Hope, Hongkyu flashes, but a soldier finds his back as AL... Realize and Nash's Tooth already complete, but CFO, I was wondering if they want to take this fight around this objective. Flandre does have teleport, and he's going to try and flank them as he TPs in. The Dragon down to 7,000 HP. Hongkyu looking for that flank position. Flandre comes in. There's the Weaver's Wall to separate the team. Driver on the wrong side of it, as is Kaiwing. CFO, where are your attentions? Currently split between the Drake and between the fight. Bullet time opens up only onto Kyle. Driver forcing Shanks up towards the top side. Ginger's going to land the smite onto the Mounted Drake. It's sole point now for CFO. But can they get the hell out of the fight? Flandre force load. The Curtain Call coming out as well. Here's Kaiwing into the deadly flourish for the root, and now CFO are all on the retreat. The river runs red with Kaiwing's blood, and Flandre wants to add more of CFO to it. Hope still on the chase. Doggo able to walk away, but now dodges the deadly flourish. AL might just have to accept one kill in the Otacon.
We're seeing how spread out these fights are because of all the disengaged tools, but CFO get themselves to sole point. They still want to contest this. Tarzan.
Tarzan in, there's the deadly flourish follow-up, and Shanks slides in. Meet my bodyguards. Tarzan falls though. Ginger able to flash away. Kyle looking for the flank. Doesn't get the auto off, and Doggo's found too. Hope just short of the seismic shove. Shanks and Flandre need to back up their bot lane. Hope reloading, gets the fourth shot off, but he doesn't have the damage, and Otacon is helping CFO! His allegiances changed in the middle of the fight. Shanks trying to dodge around, there's no vision in that bush. Flandre finds another, no mana left on him. Doggo with the red buff gets the slow on.
Fight chipping away with what you can.
Driver's going to be the one to face check. Kyle there, knocked up, has the magical journey to get himself out. Driver locked up in the dark possession. Tempered fate on 4. The Keeper's verdict charged up and will knock out 2. Driver dives in, but the rest of his team are nowhere near him. Driver will fall after the stopwatch, and now CFO in a 4v5. Seismic shove just short on Tarzan. Do you keep fighting this, CFO? It's only our second Drake of the game. You can set up around the Otacon to try and distract them a little bit while they go for the Dragon.
Just one purchase into the river, and they're going to get it. Hongkyu already used his ultimate, but Doggo's ulti is still available. Ginger, he has prime access to this Dragon, but AL are not hitting it. Or at the very least, they're hitting it slowly.
Flandre looking for that flank, trying to gain control of the Tribush. Doggo standing behind the wall, just a little bit out of vision as Flandre puts the ghouls down, curtains open, and Kaiwing and Hongkyu have to retreat. Hongkyu just dodges the fourth shot, bullet time, not enough, good smite. coming out there for AL.
There's so many disengage tools on the side of AL, but it's the same the other way around. AL don't have the most reliable engage. They do have...
Do they realize, do they pull the trigger? Because AL at the moment have 4 petals, and that is going to start to explode as they secure the Artican.
I feel like they have to recognize that this is gone. There's too much missing on the map, and they just weren't in a position to contest. Going to be unavailable, of course, as the Dragon is now alive. Tarzan forced to flash with Summoner Burn. Driver very isolated, though.
Shanks goes in, flash away from Driver, dodges the Emperor's Divide. So that's 2 flashes and an ultimate down now for AL, and CFO see their window. They'll start up the Drake, knock back Tarzan. Gets the knockup, but it's only onto Kaiwing. Weaver's Wall will separate the fight out a little bit. Doggo and Junja waiting for Honkyu to back them up. Shanks trying to put the damage in from the side. Kyle forced away. Kaiwing on that front line as he tries to get through the pit. Junja in there, but it's secured by Kyle, who may have switched to smite. Junja's gonna have to get the hell out. The curtain's open. Junja's already down the side of the shove across the wall. Into the bullet time isn't enough to kill off Shanks. Kaiwing will fall in the end. And somehow AL win out the fight in the river. Honkyu slammed into the wall and massacred by anyone's legend. Doggo follows suit. In the end, a double for Hope and a 5-for-1 exchange.
I think that may very well just be game. The death timers are very long. AL see the Nexus in their eyes. There's no one standing in their way, and they're looking to close out game 1.
For so long, it seemed like CFO could get back into the game. AL had this lead, and then in one explosive fight, they just rip any control of the game away from the LCP #1 seeds. It's 1-0 AL.
The fact that you had the Skarner, you had the Corki with decent poke from range. You also then have the Rumble ultimate that can come down through from the backline. To then have the Kaiser trying to dive into the backline. Do I trust Doggo? Absolutely. All right, well, let's jump into game 2, see how things pan out. Medic and I are going to do our best to... Oh, hang on.
Oh, Kyle is ignited. He's trying to dodge, misses, but the hook from Kaiwing goes wide. He still gets the kill. Honkyu now down to 0 HP as Hope will take that kill. They're going to chase Kaiwing away, who doesn't have flash and doesn't have ignite and doesn't have a leg. Honkyu, who used his flash in that level 1, but Honkyu showing the power of the gatling gun in the lane there, especially with Ryze having relatively short range. You can just gattle him down. Shanks looking for the overload and he'll find it. And we just see the tool used. It allows Tarzan just a little bit more safety around the Drake. Second time in 2 games, we've seen AL get the first Dragon.
TP now going to come through from Flandre. The grub started off. It's hard for Tarzan, though. He's quite far away.
Flandre goes in with the Justice Punch, doesn't land the taunt. Kyle has the Pop Blossom level 6 and the Flash. Honkyu's going to try and chunk him out with a Gatling gun. Smite already used by Junja. Will be back up in a couple of seconds' time. Tarzan could just step in here and steal away one of these grubs, but he's looking for a flank of his own. Junja gets the second Smite off. I wonder if CFO will just disengage. Doggo culled. Down to 300 HP. CFO should retreat from this. The Realm Warp coming out as well. We'll bring Tarzan onto the backline. There's the Cyclone Pop Blossom. And it's a Venn diagram of death here for CFO. AL find 2 as they sweep away the LCP. I don't think it's the best idea. Hook is going to hit onto Kyle.
It's too slow.
There.
They're not there.
Junja going in with the smite. It's secured by Tarzan. Hero's Entrance coming out as well. Culling onto Honkyu. Realm Warp there for the follow-up. Kyle trying to get in with the Pop Blossom. Junja there first target up towards the top side. Honkyu will fall first. Kaiwing next as Hope flashes forward for the kill. Junja follows suit. It's a massacre. AL pick up 3 more.
CFO might still try and contest this, Medic.
Okay, the killer instinct from Doggo. He's a long way away right now. Can jump in. Junja trying to posture around it as Kyle locks him up. Kyle down to half HP, does still have that Pop Blossom taunt coming out. It's going to land, but only onto the Nautilus. There's a culling follow-up, Death Charge, Pop Blossom! And Nautilus is the one who just goes pop. Hero's Entrance comes in for the Magic Shield on Kyle. Cyclone for the chase on Junja. Shanks is going to Realm Warp behind them, and Junja taunted up and taken out of the fight. They'll get 1 in response. Tarzan has fallen, but the objective and the win in the fight goes over to AL once again.
CFO are desperate to get...
CFO could look for the fight again, but they don't have the ultimates really for it. Might just be Junja riding through the wall to try and get the steal. Doesn't even go for it.
Game 1, we're seeing it again in game 2. They smother you with their pressure. Shanks, level 16. Hovering in the Tri-Brush, has the ulti to create a flank. The Dragon started off
Just going to step forward, immediately jumps onto Shanks.
Ooh.
The Depth coming out as well with the 6 arm guards enough. Kyle, the first to fall in the fight, but meanwhile on the back line, Tarzan begins to rip through CFO. Doggo trying to get away as Kaiwing looks for the hook but can't land it on Shanks or Hope. Meanwhile, Driver falls to Flandre, and now it's all on the bot lane for CFO. Doggo, no killer instinct, no flash, just has the cleanse, and CFO won't take the fight any further. AL secure the soul, win the fight, a 6,500 gold lead as Doggo escapes, but Kaiwing does not. It will be a 4-for-1, a soul for AL, and you have to feel the Artican alongside it.
The ultimate's going to be used to quickly rotate towards the Artican. The bot tower is available for them if they want it as well. We're going to look back at this MasterCard priceless moment, and I love the idea from Ginger. Quickly come in onto Shanks, but the response from Kyle was beautiful. A massive Nico ultimate connects onto multiple members, and it gives easy access for Tarzan onto the backline. He does so much damage on the Wukong. Doggo tries to respond with a dive of his own, but he just can't match the damage. He can't match the threat until he's forced.
Driver on this Rumble, Doggo a mile away, but always has the killer instinct to jump into a fight. There's a TP out from the Rumble. Hero's entrance available for Flandre as well, as they dive onto Ginger immediately. A 3-man impale, though it's huge! As Doggo begins to turn the fight around, all on the back of Ginger. The killer instinct forward, Hope is extinguished! CFO! From nothing, find it all! An ace in the Baron as well!
That is the miracle that they needed! A perfect ace onto AL. Junja's the target that AL engage on, but he gets an ulti in response. Everything is thrown into him. And look at that, the 3-man suppress. And CFO get a 5-for-0 team fight.
The massive wallets that allowed them to beat CFO if the fight wasn't entirely in their favor. Now CFO begin to turn things into their advantage. And for AL, first time in this game since 30 seconds in that they have been on the back foot.
That was 8k gold to 1.
They are going to be able to sustain up through fights. Elder begun now by CFO. AL walk into the darkness. The Elder getting shredded immediately, down to 6,000 HP. AL might not even get in range. Tarzan's going to have to decoy in. The hero's entrance coming out, but there's the Elder, and Tarzan is already down. Kyle popping a heal just to escape the clutches of CFO, but Shanks does not have that same luxury. Slammed into the wall by Ginger. He can stop time for a second, but he's going to be sent to a timeout back to the fountain as Ginger takes him down.
Elder secured, 2 kills secured. CFO now set their sights on the base of AL with one of the craziest comebacks that we've seen at MSI. CFO is looking to equalize this series right here, right now.
And for Flandre, Hope, and Kyle, you are reeling from this last sequence. Just got to try and defend your base. It looks like CFO might not go for the full push. Ginger's not with them right now, but the rest of the team are posturing forward. I'm going to take down this inhibitor. Another wave coming in on its way. They're taking their time with it, clearing out the waves coming out of the AL base. Tarzan up in 2 seconds' time. We'll have that Cyclone and a flash. Here's Ginger to join up with CFO. Tarzan goes in with the Cyclone immediately onto Doggo, who cleanses the way, but Hope flashes forward and gets the kill. And now the rest of CFO are on the retreat. AL have forced them out of the base for now. 1:30 still on the Elder. That might be the final push we see from it because of double TP from AL. They want this game to end right now. Shanks on the flank, gets onto Driver, spell flux going out, but he has to be careful because of that Elder buff still remaining on CFO. They'll retreat as 4. Tarzan trying to get in here, Realm Warp up in 6 seconds, Dredge line, depth charge, not enough, no follow-up damage onto Shanks. The Ocean Soul as well, helping them out as Driver goes in with the Flame Spitter, but they just don't have the damage! Phosphorus Bomb finds its mark, a double impale as well. The Torn Kyle goes in with a Wall Blossom, and they'll get one in response, but now it's all on Hope. It rests on his shoulders. He opens up onto Ginger, who flashes away. CFO out with 3 right now. Flandre, Justice Punch forward, Hope dashing in as well. Ginger will fall, Hongyu has the GA, is it enough? Hope trying to heal up with that Ocean Soul. And it's a 1v1 between the mid and the bot. The Gatling gun, Valkyrie forward! Hongyu finds the double.
Tarzan trying to get in range, but it will be too little, too late. The second Baron goes to CFO.
Accelerated in this game. Doggo as well has got a Seeker's arm guard and is going up towards a Void Star. These impales has been absolutely on the mark. They step forward, Kaiwing hooks, but only onto the wall. Depth charge, Pop Blossom Hero's entrance. And once again, it's the wombo combo, Kaiwing already down. Doggo Hongkyu have to retreat as Junja's locked up as well. Driver's dead, the realm warp forward as AL look for more. Kyle on the flank, the tangle barbs onto Junja.
Same speed that they were when they last had the Baron. They've got to be cautious about the angles with which AL tried to attack from. They've set their sights on the Flandre.
They land the dredge line, but look at Tarzan across the wall. Goes in with a Cyclone and forces them off his top laner. Kaiwing down to half HP. Tarzan re-engages another Cyclone. The hero's entrance not going to land. The realm warp looking at that back line is going to be onto Kaiwing. Hongkyu forced low as Junja takes the brunt of it. The flash is away from CFO. Realm warp not taken. Equalizers to turn it around, but with Junja at a third HP, and the Ocean Soul sitting on AL, it's going to be tricky. You need to heal him back up. There's Krugs and there's Razorbeaks. If he can quickly hit them, he'll regen some of that health. The Elder now the target for AL. No vision in the pit for CFO. The control ward negates the vision that ward would give them, and there's the Elder. AL secure it away from their base as possible. We're going to have a crossover of about a minute between the Elder and the Baron buff.
Driver hesitant to push any further on the bot lane. He will go back to base. Now CFO, the main buff they need to be wary of is the Elder. You can see the cooldown bar at the top right of your screen. That means that they'll likely lose an inhibitor. But once the Elder is gone, then CFO can probably look for a fight. The wave clear's going to come through. AL want to keep the pressure up. Shanks going back to base. A numbers advantage for CFO, but again, against this Elder, it's a scary thing to try and force. The TP is available for the Rise.
Hongkyu just trying to harass down this wave from lane, from range in fact, as AL won't push any further. TP to the mid lane. The Elder going to expire in the next 15 seconds or so. There's the Equalizer on the way, but the Baron up minions don't take too much damage. Doggo trying to clear it out. AL will play for the mid lane in him, and they'll secure it. CFO wisely backing away. No wave here on the top side, but that tower is down to a third, and AL might just think they can tank it up. They start to do so. Takes a chunk, but it takes a while. Tarzan down to half HP himself, but in the end, AL will secure the inhib tower. Elder about to expire. There it goes. It's off CFO still. Backed away and gave up double inhibs.
They're not going to slow down with the pressure, though. They're continuing with the push. Junja is incredibly tanky. He's not tanky enough to stop the minions from doing that damage. For now, the Nexus towers stay strong. No objectives on the map, really, so AL have to keep the pressure going.
One of the weaknesses here for AL is that short range that we talked about all the way back in draft. How can Hope get close enough without the rapid fire cannon? Impale going in, there's the Pop Blossom as Kyle finds three. Junja force low, and he'll fall as we look for the engage on towards the backline from Doggo. Doesn't go in with the Killer Instinct, holds it for the moment. The depth charge used alongside that Equalizer. The wave now pushing in, there's Tarzan, a hero's entrance, the GA on Tarzan's shoulders will bring him back to life. Both the Nexus towers are down as Kyle begins to open up on the Nexus. CFO trying to defend, but they just can't do it in the face of anyone's legend. Not in the end. Looking for that range advantage over the Gwen in the early game, get a lot of grasps, procs off, but Gwen obviously later on can just take over side lanes.
Yeah, it's
onto an Orianna.
Flandres here.
Kyle has a flank position. Junja still on that dragon. Tarzan looking for the steal. Flandre is going to join in. Hongkyu coming in from the side. Doesn't have that shockwave, but does have enough pressure to force Flandre and Tarzan out. Kyle looks for the Shadowing Strike. There's the crash down as well. Junja's going to land the smite. Hits level 6 off it. Could look for the Subjugate. Flashes away from the Sonic Wave. Flandre with the needle worked. Only goes into the Unbreakable as Doggo begins to open up on Kyle and Hope. Good Shadowing Strike is cleansed away by Doggo, but Kyle has to flash himself. Doggo with the lethal tempo gets first blood. Hope flashes away, but is hit by the Winter's Bite beforehand. I don't think he's going to escape this. Another auto attack would be enough. There's another Winter's Bite. And Hongkyu will be gifted the kill. Good play caller back from Hope. And there's the teleport behind immediately. Corrected. AL looking for it. Kyle and Hope putting some damage into Kaiwing. Shanks on the flank is a double TP. They're investing all of it into this fight. Rest only half Mega Narbar. Kyle going in with the Magnet Storm only onto Kaiwing. The Sonic Wave back. There's the Shockwave as well. Junja down to half HP. Hope begins to open up. Rest though jumps back in, looking for that Gnar, gets Shanks against the wall. Junja survives, and Shanks will fall. AL They force the fight and they lose his Dragon's Rage.
Both mid laners have their ultis available. You can see that Shanks is in a position looking for it. Flandre goes over the wall.
It's into the back of the pit. Tarzan looking for the Sonic Wave. It's Junja who secures it. There's the Tibbers. The Magnet Storm follow up, but the Shockwave will pull Kyle back. He's stunned up with the concussive blows. He manages to survive. Honku chasing him down. And will get the Clockwork wind up. Meanwhile, in the back of the pit, Junja is going to fall. Rest looking for that Mega Nut. Honku is on the wrong side of this wall, but does still. AL trying to gain some purchase on the river right now, but Rest is still in the top lane, building up that Mega Nut bar. It's about to go Mega as we see the catch onto Kaiwing. Even with the Tibbers, it takes them an absolute age to kill him. The follow-up from Tarzan.
The decision-making there from Kaiwing. Face-checking into a brush when the rest of your team just isn't in the river. Honku now isolated.
Doesn't have flash here as well. Shockwave just about to come off cooldown, but it's not going to be enough to survive. And AEL will take the neutral, and they'll take 2 kills.
CFO trying to respond by dropping the Herald in mid. They've got the top tower. They're looking to get another one.
Riftard charging in will give them that tier 1 in the mid lane. In fact, they're going to take it and then charge in for the tier 2. Kaiwing caught a little bit by Tarzan, but a couple of procs.
Hey.
Oh, it's a collapse possibility. Rest does have that Gnar up. Gets the wallop, gets the stun onto Kyle. The Gnar back, Shadowing Strike still's going to connect. Rest with a good jump, and they switch places. It's a merry-go-round here as Rest looks for another wallop. Flandre caught out a little bit by Junja down towards this bottom side. Doesn't have the flash, is only running Ghost. Rest escapes, and Flandre now needs to be careful, but I don't think he'll escape the clutches of CFO. Kaiwing tanks a couple of tower shots as well to make sure. 2 Drakes to 0. They managed to pick up the feats as Honku will just stop Kyle's back here. Shockwave bringing him back. Kaiwing will look for the Winter's Bite. Kyle remounts to try and get a bit of extra movement speed. Will land the Shadowing Strike, and now Honku's out of position, and we talked about it. You can't be 2v3. Honku trying to escape, but Tarzan's going to chase him down. Flandre has the flank position here as Rest TP'd in. Flandre needs to get out because the rest of CFO are going to collapse. Snip, snip, there you go. The needle works. It's 2 for anyone's legend. And just like that, the game swings the pendulum in favor of AL. Doggo across the wall lands a Mystic Shot, but doesn't hit with the Essence Flux. True Shot Barrage not available to him. Tibbers here to tank the Otacon a little bit. Will chase off Doggo. AL, they're doing it safely. Junja can still look for the steal. Doesn't have the flash, but has the smite. Can step forward here. Hallowed Mist out from the Gwen as they look for the Otacon. Junja's in there and he steals it away. Better Storm comes out, but Doggo finds 1, finds 2 with the True Shot Barrage. It's a triple. It's a quadra. And
Still finds an angle. Junja finds the steal. And while CFO was getting caught, they were making mistakes. It felt like they were giving the game over to AL.
I mean, miserable time in the LPL. Now showing up for the LCP. Dragon's Rage kick back onto Rest here. Doesn't have the flash. Has no chance of surviving.
The really good vision control. They've invested their vision on the top side. They have the push up here as well.
For once, go along with our expectations. They back away. They'll get some vision towards the red side jungle of CFO, who put themselves... Doggo. Arcane shifting across the wall. Hits the Mystic Shot. Oh my god. Hits another. Hits another. Hope has the Feather Storm and has to pop it just to survive. But down you come and down you go. Doggo finds the kill, and now with the Shockwave, Tarzan has to flash away. TP behind by AL.
By CFO.
Flandre has his teleport. But will AL look for this? Tarzan hits the Sonic Wave onto Honku, gets vision of the Baron, jumps away. And now he has to kick back Junja. Kyle up towards the top side, trying to keep Rest busy because Tarzan is falling low towards the bottom. Doggo surviving, Arcane shifts across the wall, the exhaust coming out, a good double stump from Shanks. Meanwhile on the top side, Flandre and Rest are fighting for their lives. Doggo with a True Shot Barrage will kill off Shanks. And CFO once again find 2. AL find nothing.
So many fights, making amazing plays. And he's looking to keep CFO alive at MSI.
Engaged, but Kaio's still half HP and CFO still very healthy. Junja's sitting on the Drake right now. Sonic Wave from Tarzan goes between the uprights. Kaiwing on the front line. Glacial Fisher going wide. Junja still on the Drake. 6,000 HP. Down to 5 now as Tarzan tries to get into the pit. True Shot Barrage just behind him. Tarzan still finding a way to get in here. Sonic Wave hits, but it's too little, too late. Soul secured in the priceless moment of the game for CFO.
Great patience from CFO, just leveraging their range, their zone control, their poke. Junja, he's not afraid of anything.
Good pillar from Junja. They turn around onto him with the Magnet Storm, and with the Tibbers, they'll get the kill. Tarzan looking for a flank here, has that Dragon's Rage. Next wave, a little way. There's the TP. Flandre going in. AL have called their moment for the fight. Shanks is going to recall and then TP back in. Counter TP coming out from Rest as Flandre puts the needles through Honkyu, but just doesn't have the damage. Backs away, counter TP there from Shanks, but now he's all on his lonesome. Tarzan going in, there's the stun. Tarzan dashes back with the Iron Will trying to survive. Getting to Kai out, but he can't do it. True Shot Barrage out as Doggo and Honkyu will secure that kill. Ginger follows up with another one. Rest chasing Shanks down towards the bottom side. He's got a stun lined up, but Rest is just trying to keep AL from defending their tower. Doggo dashing forward. Flandre trying to snip through him. The blades come back with the Feather Storm, and Doggo still survives. Flandre and Hope do not have that same luxury. Shanks will join his team in the afterlife as these Oysters are flying high.
It's a 5-0 ace. CFO set their sights on the Nexus, and they're looking to keep their hopes alive here at MSI.
CFO proving the comeback in Game 2 was not a blip as they get one game. And
Maokai.
I mean, Doggo playing Cogmore, if he doesn't use the Corgi skin would disappoint me, I'll be honest. But it is going to be Sivir instead.
I mean, so I prefer this more into the Blitz.
Yeah.
Because you do have that spell shield available to you, right? Which makes it that much harder to lock you down. Also, Silent. Looking very realistic right now. Doggo doesn't have much mana, but the Maokai's on the top side of the map.
Ginger spotted on vision.
Here we go.
Tarzan a mile away. Kaiwing looking for that hook. Ginger steps forward. Hook's going to land onto Kyle. He's pulled back. Played. And first blood goes to CFO. Tarzan looking for the flank here onto Honkyu in the mid lane. Kaiwing surviving towards the bottom side. Hope electing not to go any further as they get the twisted advance in the mid lane onto Honkyu. Shanks looking for the damage but doesn't have a huge amount of mana. The twofold hex might be enough from Honkyu here. He flashes over the wall and the void Spraggle Splash against the auto down. The sapling will send him to his grave, but in a 2.
Wait, Shanks, that's going to be a TP into the mid lane from the Blitzcrank as Kaiwing sets his sights on bot.
Flandre needs to be careful here because there's the lantern, there's the play. Flandre, he was looking for the prediction flag on the death sentence, but it's still enough. Kaiwing will take
Tarzan. He's no stranger to this objective. Smite's going to come through, and I imagine he's just going to back away.
He gets one of them. Might look for a second as well. The lantern down. Ginger will get a smite of his own.
Okay.
Getting the second, obviously taking away.
Should get this one uncontested, as we know Tarzan's on the top side of the map, but also a bunch of resets have just come through from AL.
A bunch of question mark pings coming out towards that top tower as well from CFO. It's here for Tarzan, so he's going to be really squishy. Will do a bunch of damage, but be a little bit hard for him as Doggo is the one caught out, and he puts the spell shield, but still caught by the flame chompers. There's the shutdown for Hope. And he evens out that gold in the 80 count.
To safety, he actually gets dragged through the traps and locked up. The flash follow-through comes from Tarzan. Big damage onto Shanks.
Shanks steals away the ultimate here, looking for the chase. Ginger in with the Cataclysm, and now Kyle's underneath that tower. Shanks tanking it as well, he'll fall. It's 2-0 so far as CFO try and continue to turn this fight around. The dive, disastrous! Hope almost falls, but he has the barrier just in time.
Thinking he can get a great trade onto Hope. Gets locked at the hit. The spell shield's the knock up, but then gets dragged through the...
Clears out the vision, Rest coming across. That Rift Herald still pretty healthy, 6,000 now. Kyle still looking for that hook. There's the Nature's Grasp coming out from Tarzan as AL wants to take the fight. A couple of roots going down, but between worlds goes the Aurora. Rest able to dodge away. The lantern there as well for him. Shanks steals the Cataclysm. Rift Herald secured by CFO. A counter Cataclysm onto Tarzan. Not really the target you want. Doggo untouched so far. Almost eats a zap as Shanks dives back in. Flashes over the flag and drag as Hope. Flashes forward as well as CFO have managed to get 4 members out. Ginger almost takes down Hope, but gives the bounty across. One here to answer on the top side. AL will get their first tower of the game, but CFO have already secured a turret of their own and have those feats of strength.
Trying to find an angle in. Right now he can't find one. The base is coming through from Tarzan, so it looks like they're just going to concede this. Tower secured as well. A gamble as the Jinx rocket comes through to try and steal, but it's not going to convert into much.
It would have been the most. He should be okay. As Shanks jumps in, and he's not okay at all. Has to flash across the wall. Shanks going to dive forward, and the Super Mega Death Rocket hits its man. I thought Cassante would be tankier as Shanks flashes in and looks for another. He'll get the double.
CFO, as you rightly highlighted, Medic, had just committed one too many members to the bot side of the map. Mid was
Get on Soul Point. We'll take the tier 2. That's what Flandre's starting to do right now, while the rest of AL will try to collapse. Shanks off vision on the control ward. As there's the Nature's Grasp eaten up. Kaiwing Mikhails himself, but the hook still lands, but the Flame Chompers are down. Honku trying to dive in. Shanks on the backline immediately, and Hope is on a killing spree. He finds one. Looking at Junja now as Doggo can't survive through Shanks. Rest goes all out, but Shanks goes golden as AL sends CFO to the morgue.
A flawless team fight. CFO have to react. It's a good ultimate from Honku, but then when Shanks arrives, the fight devolves into chaos. Closer to the base of CFO. They'll need to turtle. They have a great champion for it. Hook connects.
Another hook onto Rest. Tries to Pathmaker out, but the Flame Chompers will stop his retreat. Flandre now gets the kill. And Rest is sent to the afterlife. For AL, they can just continue to push in, and this is the defensive positioning against a Blitzcrank is so darn hard, because again, he looks for the hook. Honku has to use the ultimate to buffer out of it. And now he's caught up in Shanks' Cataclysm, who continues to chase forward. The Nature's Grasp coming out, Junja the one locked up. The Lantern from Kaiwing won't be taken by anyone as AL force CFO away from their inhibitor. Shanks dives in once again with the Abscond Abduct, and Junja is just trying to get away, but he's slain. A King Slayer to take down Junja. And AL will take the mid inhib, will take the top inhib as they TP in and look for the end.
AL is looking to close things out. It was a hard-fought series. They were pushed to their limit. But AL see the Nexus.
Shanks dives in, goes between worlds. The Nexus towers fall. And CFO can only watch as AL rip them to shreds. The Oysters are shocked. The Pandas are eating good. AL claim the series 3-1. When AL have their grasp on a game, it is really hard to take that away from them. They are really good at suffocating you out, at denying you everything. And see AL going to the next round of the lower bracket. As you said, Vedi, will play the winner of BLG FlyQuest, which is happening tomorrow.
Tomorrow's going to be an interesting one for sure. North America are very excited to see how they stack up against BLG.
As they should be. FlyQuest have looked on form this tournament.
They certainly have. BLG showcasing some weaknesses, but a team that's been underestimated before.
Yeah, when you have Shanks for the Verizon post-game interview.
Anyone's legend is victorious and wins here 3-1. I have Wendy here to assist with the translations for Shanks as we begin this interview. But first, I think you need something in order to do your interview the best way. Can you tell us what this is all about, the sunglasses?
首先，恭喜你们获得比赛的胜利。但我觉得，如果不戴着墨镜的香克斯的采访就是不完整的。能不能和我们说一说，戴着墨镜对你来讲代表着什么？有什么样的特殊的意义？
首先，我觉得墨镜和眼镜这个东西就是单纯的装酷耍帅。
I believe like wearing all the sunglasses or wearing glasses is just, I feel cool with that. I feel it's amazing.
Okay, I see. Now you're very cool on the Rift as well. And Shanks, we have been waiting so long to see you on the international stage. So I gotta ask, how do you feel about your performance? How you've been doing now that you finally made it here?
我相信有非常多的观众朋友们一直在期待你能够在国际大赛上崭露头角，所以说也想问一下，来到 MSI 的舞台，对于自己的表现有什么样的一个感受？包括说来到这个赛事，在这里大放异彩，有什么样的一些心情？
其实我是真的非常享受这个舞台的吧，对。然后我想过一个问题，这个舞台属不属于我嘛？对。然后后来想一想，我就不去想这些问题，我干嘛管它属不属于我？我享受这个舞台就很爽。
I must say, I really enjoy here. I enjoy the stage. I enjoy playing here on the stage. Previously, I was always questioning about this question, whether this stage belongs to me or not. I'm always questioning myself and adopting about this question, but for now, I don't care about this. I think it's not important. It's just I standing here and I enjoy the stage. That's enough for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I know a year ago you posted on your Weibo, you asked the question, how many defeats do I have to suffer to finally be the protagonist in my own story? Now that you're here, how do you feel about all the sacrifices you've made to get this chance for yourself?
我记得1年以前的时候，香克斯选手在自己的微博当中有说嘛，要挨多少打才能成角？在自己的故事当中，在经历了这么多的苦难与磨难之后，你终于来到了这里，你有什么样的一些想法？有什么样的心境？到现在是不是觉得所有的一切都值得呢？
对，首先我是绝对认为 不管经历多少苦难、多少挫折，就是我如今已经来到这里，就证明了一件事，绝对是值得的。然后我觉得，我觉得人生肯定会遇到挫折和苦难，对。未来我也还会遇到，我觉得每个人也可能还会遇到嘛，对。我是一定会用积极的心态去战胜的，对。
I believe with all the obstacles, with all the difficulties I have faced off against, but for now, I'm being here. I overcome all the difficulties. I feel like it's deserved.
Yeah.
I really enjoy to playing here. And I must say, maybe in the future, for everybody's life, in the life, you must have so many different difficult times. You must have so many tough times for the person. But if you can just try to put 100% of effort into this and to use the optimistic mindset to handle with that, everything will be okay.
That is beautiful. Now, Tabe is also on your team, I should say, as the coach, and we often think he has something really special. Could you, as a first-hand player in this team, tell us what makes Tabe's approach so special?
那接下来也想问一下关于他比教练，我们感觉他比教练好像都有一种神奇的魔力，能够让你们一点一点的进步，打得越来越好。所以说，因为你也是和他比教练也是相处了比较久，所以说能不能和我们分享一下，在你眼中他是什么样子？为什么有他的加持，你们可以越打越好？
我觉得他比从生活上开始就已经非常的热情，非常有趣了。对，有他这样的教练在，就是我们的队伍啊、心态啊、氛围啊都非常的好。对，就是他比很棒。
Tabi is a great coach, I must say, and starting from the daily life, he's always been very full of passion and full of enthusiasm. He can always help the team to have a very good mentality, a very good mindset, a very good atmosphere. So generally speaking, he's just a great coach.
We can see it. Now, of course, I have to ask you, the LPL has been wanting to get an international title back, especially here at MSI. Is there a promise you can make the fans or anything you can say to instill some confidence into them?
那我也相信，对于 LPL 的赛区，真的非常渴望能够在国际大赛上再次拿到一个冠军，特别是像在这样 MSI 的舞台当中。所以说，在这里，香克斯选手有没有什么样的承诺想给到大家？要不要用你的一些话语，给所有热爱 LPL 的粉丝朋友们增加一些自信心？
很简单，我们 AL 绝对会回决赛的。
Easy peasy. I feel like for our AL, we're going to go back to the final stage.
Let's go. Thank you so much, Shisha. Thank you so much, Wendy, as well. Anyone's legend, stay alive at MSI.
Thank you so much, Shox and Wendy. Of course, amazing interview. I have to say, he is so inspiring.
Yeah.
The way he reflects on everything, the way he carries himself for his very first interview on the international stage, by the way. Massive props, not only on the riff, but for the way he expressed himself during this